What an honor that our family, they were part of this now, every single part, and that we had somebody that we knew would be able to continue that culture to the point that our employees actually trusted it too. You would think that there would be a lot of fear. There might have been some, and people talked to us, but it was natural for them. It was just a nice segue to them.
Companies follow people and the quality of people. And so if you could find those best people and provide the environment to be in and hire with that culture. See, culture is critical. You got to hire for culture first, that you're going to be successful. It had to be different.
Growth and, being the biggest was never the priority for my dad. And I always saw that, it was always about, is he taking care of the employees that were there, and how do you keep the business going? Was he able to provide for his family? And probably a lot of the reason why I've adopted that myself, because that's what I saw.
I think my mom instilled in me this idea of really trying to be the best that you could be. And so everything we do at Triune, so much of case management is quality. It's quality assurance. And I think her instilling those qualities of really putting your best and dotting your I's and crossing your T's in the right way has also led us to sort of an excellence in how we perform the care for the injured worker. And understanding that, you don't just cross your T and dot your I because you're going to bill for it and because you don't want to screw up the customer. You do it because it's the right thing to do.
I think the other thing that I remember of my dad, and probably will always remember, and especially in the hard times, and it was a saying that he always said, and he had it taped to his monitor, on his desk, and it was, the steps of a just man are ordered by the Lord, And it's one of those things that I find solace in at times, because one of the things I can always say about my parents is they were always big about trusting in God, and whether or not there were things that were bothering them or not, they didn't always let it show. And my dad, certainly seeing him in the office more, was always a man of faith, and he always depended upon that and leaned upon that even in the good times and in the bad times, and I think it's something that I've hopefully been able to integrate myself, and to find solace in as well, and, times are good and times are bad,
It's challenging. You take over a business, you look at the legacy, you look at your parents who've done things right for 30 years and you say, do I have what it takes? Am I going to mess it up? Do I not have some of those qualities that made my dad a great entrepreneur that, without them, I'm going to tank the business? And I think James and I look at each other and, far from point out each other's faults, we're pretty good at pointing out our own personal faults and saying, like, I know I don't do this well, or I know that Triune needs me to play this role because that's the way a business works, but I don't necessarily have that strength. But I'm going to play it anyway because I've got people depending on me. And I think that it brings a profound sense of humility and a profound sense of trust in each other and also in God's providence to say that, because we believe in our mission, it's going to work out and we're going to continue.
What makes me most proud of what we built is to see how it's fostered the environment for people to do well and to really, it's the right environment for humanity. That's really what I believe. I mean, the real pride in it is seeing how our children, particularly now with those that, with James and David, they're continuing to the next level, have been able to see and to internalize those principles and to continue that. Because again, if that's what really makes us different as a company, is that culture and the willingness to not go down that slippery slope in something that's not a godly principle and keep that fight. To see that, I think from a parent's point of view, not only for James and David, who are now running leadership in the business, but to see in the other children that, it's in their past that they've picked up on, that they've been able to continue in the faith, that I think is the greatest success.